Hello, it's Gemini. It's your reading for the month of June. It's finally here. Happy birthday to all of you Geminis. Hope you all are doing well. Um, I was going to pick a rune for the theme just to help you out for each of the signs. This one is, or the rune, Lagus, flowing water. The driving invisible forces are here at work here, creative and protective forces of nature. The attributes of this rune are water, liquid, embedded in the flow of the tides and emotions, of careers and relationships. The key to success lies in the contact with your intuitive knowledge and the mood for your inner rhythms. Conversely, warning against exaggerations from excessive driving and advice against the attempt to underestimate your own forces or to work over the top of your own property. So this is pretty much the reference point of the theme of the month. I picked for you guys, or it came to me when I was shuffling the runes. I did pre-shuffle the cards. Dates to keep in mind: the 3rd of June is a new moon in Gemini. So usually new moons are all about new beginnings, new things for the Geminis in general. And then full moon usually are for just, things you need to revisit or look at. But we have a full moon in Sagittarius the 17th of June. So keep those dates in mind. It could affect you in some way, especially if you have any of those in your charts, especially Sagittarius. So it could affect you in some way or another. So let's get into the reading. I pre-shuffled it. I cut it already, so we're just going to go raw on it. Put this over there. Move these out of the way. Make it more easier to see. Don't really have a plan for this month, just going on a whim. Hopefully you can see that well. I may do clarifiers. I don't always do that, but I may do it if I feel led to. So it depends on how I feel. So this is a general reading I want to keep in mind. It may not apply to all of you Geminis. You could also have Gemini in your chart, so this could be your message as well. I know I have Gemini in my chart, being a Cancer, so do keep that in mind. Alright, give me a few minutes to read the cards for the month of June. Alright, starting with the first card is the 5 of Wands. This is a card about conflicts. It could also indicate inner conflicts. It could be, conflicts that you're having within, just your surroundings. It's not a bad card. It's not a good card. My feeling with that, especially being the first card coming into the month of June, I feel like a lot of Geminis have been struggling, but I feel like pretty much the theme of this month, and usually on Facebook, I do like 3 cards or 2 cards or whatever I feel led to, the card energy cards for each of the signs, and one of the theme that Gemini got was about being divinely guided. So I feel like that's kind of interesting with the rune right here. that I feel like this month in general that you guys are being divinely guided. And so I feel like with this being the very first card for the month of June, to me it's indicating with that concept being divinely guided that there could be some conflicts here and there, but I just feel like, with you being guided, you may be getting out of a period of conflict with people or situations that may have been weighing you down in some way. Maybe, you got your walls up of defense and it's causing conflicts. Or people are coming at you with their conflicts that you don't really want to be a part of. I feel like some of Geminis have dealt with a lot of conflicts. Not necessarily recently, but like, in the past situations. So I just feel like, the theme kind of carries you through. That could be kind of conflicting. And then you have the Ace of Swords. So I feel like maybe you're getting clarity, and also too, this is the Universe card. So the universe does have your back this month. I feel like, especially, I always feel like for my birthday month, which is, right on the horizons of Gemini, I always feel like I'm in my element, but sometimes we may not feel like we're, in our element. So I feel like with this Ace of Swords, it could indicate new beginnings, but I just feel like maybe you're getting clarity on something or having an awakening on something when it comes to your surrounding conflicts. It could be anything you're dealing with this month that is going to give you the clarity to move forward. And one of the things I felt right away doing your reading too, not besides divinely guided, I felt like, usually my setup is on the back, and I felt like it was in the forward position, so I wanted to do it forward. I felt like that's where I felt more comfortable. So I feel like you guys want to move forward this month, and you've been in kind of like an installment defensive, maybe feel like you can't move forward, but I feel like maybe this month will give you the clarity to move forward finally on something that you've been wanting to work on. But I feel like some of you Geminis, not all, especially in the spotlight and stuff, I'm not going to name names, but you're being asked to deal with these conflicts, whether with people or other people. And I just feel like don't get in these conflicts that aren't yours to get, because I feel like some of you have gotten in these conflicts with other people and the media or whatever. So try to stay away from that. And I want to keep in mind, this also could be an indication with also until July. So I think it's around the middle of July. We're going to be in Cancer, in Mars in Cancer. So that can be a lot of conflicts with family, children, and I think a lot of the whole things in the news is very conflicting when it comes to other people, society, the world, conflicts with other nations. That could be an indication of that, just other different people trying to come against each other. Not necessarily you, but like people trying to cause conflicts, or just maybe it's a universal thing. Alright, so then you have the Seven of Wands. I always feel good with this card, but I feel like sometimes it could indicate, what's keeping you back from moving forward with this Ace of Swords. Because I feel like with the Ace of Swords, it is a new beginning, but it's also about moving forward within this conflict. So I feel like with the Seven of Wands, it's indicating you're persevering, you're trying to maneuver this conflict. These could be other people's wands, swords, or whatever. Not really swords, but like wands, they're 2 cents into things, trying to stumble you up so you can't move forward on everything that you've worked hard for. And I feel like Geminis don't get enough credit when they've actually worked hard for things, and they try to put time and effort to things, and they don't really like to be, you know, not necessarily self-sabotage, but like they don't really want to be knocked down when they're trying to move forward in life, or they work so much to, you know, work on a project, work on something that they love, and they don't want to be, you know, in some way diminished or depleted. And I feel like a lot of Geminis deserve happiness, deserve, you know, the ability to move forward. And I feel like in some way you're going to move forward in some way this month finally, I feel like. And then you have the Ten of Swords in reverse. So I feel like this is, some of you have probably been dealing with a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of past wounds that maybe still need to be addressed. Maybe things come up that you're still having to work through, still having to process. Usually swords have to do with our thoughts. So it could be self-defeating thoughts. It could be, you know, feeling like you can't get out of this situation, or you can't get maybe these swords out of your back. You can't get out of this situation where, you know, you're feeling like you're defeated in some way, but you want to move forward. But I felt like in some way, you know, it's an indication there's still things you need to work on. There's still things you need to move past with when it comes to conflicts, when it comes to conflicts with, you know, the two twins not agreeing in some way. You know, conflicts with the mind, conflicts with getting the clarity on how you want to move forward and how you want to progress in life. But I just feel like on either side there's conflict and, you know, swords. So pretty much conflicts with yourselves, conflicts within yourself, conflicts with your mind. And I just feel like maybe there's just past things that are coming up to the surface so you can move through. But I feel like you can't move through until you unblock yourself from that and really try to process what is the problem, what is the conflict, and try to get the clarity to move forward. So I feel like, you know, also the Ace of Swords, you know, clarity is coming. I just feel like sometimes we don't have the answers when we want, but we have to be patient. Alright, next card is the Queen of Swords, which is pretty much your card. But it also could indicate, you know, be careful when it comes to your thoughts. Be careful when it comes to your words, because usually the Queen of Swords, she doesn't put up with the BS. She always, you know, like a lot of you Geminis and air signs, a lot of you think, you know, usually when Geminis are mad about something, usually, you know, they'll tell it like it is. But sometimes usually Geminis are really good about, you know, not wanting to hurt anyone in the process. But I feel like the Queen of Swords is indicating, especially in reverse, you know, just be careful where your thoughts are, especially when it comes to how you see yourself. You know, defeating thoughts, feeling like you're not good enough, feel like you don't know how to process things. So I just feel like the Queen of Swords could indicate, you know, be careful with your words. Be careful when it comes to self-sabotaging things, which I hate to use that word, but a lot of Geminis are, you know, seers. They see things ahead of time, and, you know, it's easy to get in that deep. Anyway, so I think the Queen of Swords is pretty much talking about, you know, usually if it's in the uprights, you know, cutting through the bullshit, speaking your truth, but I just think it's more of an internal thing. So I'm already feeling like for this month, it's really about overcoming these, you know, patterns. But also, too, I feel like you're being guided this month to make decisions, to, you know, getting the clarity you need to move forward in some way. So it's easy to get in our thoughts when it comes to, you know, decisions we have to make in life. But I just feel like when you try to just not overthink or over dramatize something, things can go a lot more smoother. And then you have the Temperance in reverse. So this is a Sagittarius card. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, but I don't really feel like that. I feel like it's, it could indicate patience. That maybe you're just fed up with something, and I know a lot of you have been feeling, you can't get everything you need to move forward, or you don't have the answers for certain things you're trying to move forward. So I feel like with the Temperance, it is a healing card, but I just feel like it's, maybe in sometime in the month of June, you're just feeling like you don't have the patience anymore. But I just feel like it's an indication, try to figure out what you can do in the moment, even though, your patience may be giving out on not moving forward on something. And then you have the Queen of Wands. So that's all about courage. It's all about, observing your surroundings, taking ownership for what your life can be. It's easy to get into the idea that we have to worry about, everyone else and the good of everyone. But also, too, if we're not careful, we neglect our responsibility of what is true to us. And I just feel like with the Queen of Wands, it's asking, take the courage, take the strength within yourself to, be very clear on what it is that you really want, how you want to move forward in life, what could be the next move. And I really think that Geminis are really great, analyzers. They're really great at observing. I really think, too, this is kind of like a Gemini card, because you guys are great analyzers. You are great observers. So I feel like, this month, try to observe, what you can do in the situations that you may be coming against, especially with other people or conflicts with other people or yourself. So take courage this month, I feel like, is the Queen of Wands saying. And then you have the Hangman. So you could be feeling like you don't have an option on something, or feeling like this is as good as it's got. But I just feel like the Hangman is a very wise card when it comes to making decisions, when it comes to really figuring out what you want in life, especially with the Queen of Wands. You're in that observe mode. But also, too, the Hangman gives us wisdom to understand that sometimes we got to change our perspective, change something about what we don't like in a situation. And it's time to reflect. It's time to go within and really take on this Queen of Wands energy and how we want to move forward, how we want to take action in our life when it comes to, things that we don't have patience for. Because I think a lot of you have been waiting on things for some time to come to you, but you've been pretty much stuck. And, you really don't know what to do. So take courage this month. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, about your money, about your finances, you've been worried about it. But also, too, the Queen of Pentacles is a woman who, when I look at her, she looks sad. She looks in some way content and comfortable where she's at. But it's like, is she really happy? It's like you don't see a smile on her face. And just feel like in some way it's indicating, especially with being reversed, try to look at the good things about your situation. Try to look at the good things that you have in front of you. Because sometimes it's like, we have things, like around her are flowers. There's a bunny. She's just sitting on her throne. And I think it's also indicating complacency. Sometimes it's easy just to stay complacency because it's everything we know especially when it comes to our stability. But I feel like we need to take ownership to, what is it that brings us happiness? What is it that brings us a place in this world that we feel complete and whole? And I feel like with it being in reverse, maybe it's difficult to find, what makes you really happy. And then you have the Seven of Wands in reverse, or Seven of Pentacles in reverse, my God. So waiting, not seeing the whole picture, not seeing, things come to you this month. So I just feel like, especially the Queen of Pentacles before that, I feel like if you don't get control of your emotions, or if you don't get control of the situation, you may be feeling like you're waiting forever. I don't know, that's what I'm getting with that. Because it's like the Seven of Pentacles, it's been waiting on something. So it could also indicate some of you are in a period of transition when it comes to that. Because we have the Ace of Wands. So this is about divine forward movement and passion. So I just feel like maybe in some way you're looking at your situation, you're looking at what you're trying to produce in your life, and I think you're now ready to move forward on it. Maybe on a new avenue, a new thing that you're trying to start with, a new beginning. Because that's another thing I was thinking too this month. It could possibly be a new beginning on something. But again, you're being divinely guided this month. So I just feel like a lot of faith needs to be in place so you can move forward. But then you have this Four of Swords. So this is kind of the self-defeating card, the self-sabotage card, the self-imposing card, and I think that's what came up when I did it on Facebook too, is we get in this place of isolation, and then you see it on the windowsills, being complacent. But what is it doing to us? And a lot of these are thoughts. A lot of this is just feeling like you really don't have the answers coming to you, but in some way you do have the answers coming to you. But I also feel like this card is a great card about, going within to find the answers, to find the clarity through the chaos. And I feel like meditation may be something that you really need to get to do this month, especially near the end of the month when a decision needs to be made, or just moving forward on something new, that you really need to go within to make the right decision and what suits you and your happiness and those who are involved in your life. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that and it resonated with one of you. Bye-bye.